Hello, I just thought I'd hop on late tonight and do my HCG Tag Fall 2012 video. I have it brought up here on my screen, so I'm going to be looking over here at that, at the questions. My real name? Well, my birth name is Laura Sue Reichard. My name now is Lori Cotterman because my family shortened my name, Laura, to Lori. They always called me Lori. So it's not really shortened, but that's what they always called me. And I don't ever remember anybody in my family calling me Laura. But anyway, I was named after Laura Petrie on the Dick Van Dyke Show. Could have been worse, I suppose, right? Okay. I'm trying not to make this like really super long, but try to make it kind of interesting at the same time. Or maybe boring. I don't know. Maybe it'll be boring. All right. Number 2, RX or homeopathic. Rounds 1 and 2 were RX sublingual. Round 3 was homeopathic pellets. So I just answered number 3 as well. And number 4, what do you do for a living? Well, I clean houses. I have a house cleaning business. And it's pretty much just me. But if I get real busy, my daughters work with me if I need them. And every once in a while, my mom will work with me. It started out as my mom's business. And from 1999 to 2010, I worked at Cracker Barrel as a server. But I also did the house cleaning with my mom a couple days a week. And when she decided she was done, she didn't want to do it anymore, she turned the business over to me. So I quit Cracker Barrel and started doing that full-time 2 years ago. Before that, I worked at Equity Meats, which they make McDonald's hamburgers. And let's see, before that, I worked at Ponderosa for 2 years. No, I worked at a cookie factory for 10 years. And before the cookie factory, I worked at Ponderosa for 2 years. Yes, I'm old. And before that, while I was still in high school, I worked in a little old-fashioned soda shop, which was really super fun because it was my aunt's business. She had a beauty shop in the back and the soda shop in the front, and like there was like a big hallway with like handmade craft items, and it was kind of cool. What's the next question? What is your most interesting job? Probably the cleaning. Probably cleaning. I don't know. I sold Avon too. Like I even sold that when I was a senior in high school. Like all the way through all my jobs, I was like the Avon lady. So I did pretty good with that. I liked doing that. My most interesting job. Probably the cleaning the houses, I suppose. Yeah, because I'm a people person, and I don't even really like calling my customers. It seems cold, because I have I form like relationships with each one of them. So I don't know. I mean, the one couple makes me coffee every day. Not every day. I mean, every time that I go there, they make me coffee, and they always offer me lunch and offer me goodies and send candy home for my kids, and you know stuff like that. They're just really, really nice. They treat me like a family member. And, another lady, I'm kind of like her dear Abby, too. She says, I'm not just her cleaning lady, I'm her friend. She hugs me all the time. But, I mean, I don't know, I just feel we're calling my customers, but I guess they are. They pay the bills, right? Share a funny story. See, that's a tough one. I read the questions beforehand, but gosh, I don't really know. I mean, I know some funny stories, but I don't know if it's kind of like, I guess you had to be there kind of situations where they probably don't really sound too funny. Like the one guy, he has OCD really bad, and he has college-age kids. I clean for him. And they were home for a couple of weeks over the summer, and they left things out like the toaster and, just things that I know he does not like out of place. So I put everything back, and I wasn't exactly sure where the toaster went, but I opened up a cupboard, and I thought, well, there's an empty shelf in this cupboard. It must go there, so I put it there. Well, a few days before that, he had called me and said, where did you put my Scotch tape? You're always hiding things from me. And he was kidding around, but so I didn't hide your Scotch tape. I put it where it goes. And I told him where it was, and he says, oh, well, okay. Well, then, when I put his toaster in the cabinet, he calls me that night, and he says, okay, I understand the Scotch tape, but why would you steal a man's toaster? I did not steal your toaster. Put it away. But he's always calling me, asking me where things are in his house. But I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny, but you know, guess you had to be there kind of thing. I don't really have any other funny stories, I guess. Not that I can think of. All right. Number 6. Are you the only person in your family that struggles with weight? No. My oldest son is overweight, and he struggles with it a little bit. You know, it gets him down, and his self-esteem is kind of low sometimes, and he gets down on himself once in a while, so he kind of struggles with his weight. Um, I don't know. I guess, I mean, my 2 daughters and my 2 youngest kids are really physically fit. My daughters are both size zeros. Um, they're very health conscious. Actually, all my kids are, except for my oldest. He eats a lot of junk food. Um, and he knows better, but he does. He has a problem with it. And I'm trying to work with him on that. Um, Actually, my great-grandmother was morbidly obese, and my great-aunt, which would have been her daughter, they were both morbidly obese. My great-grandmother, I never knew her. She passed away long before I was born, but in seeing photos of her, she was well over 400 pounds. I'm absolutely sure. Um, she was a tall woman, and I only know that because my grandmother told me that, and it would have been her mother. And seeing photos of her, old photos of her holding kids, had kids sitting on her, she was never standing up. She was always sitting down, and you could just tell by the size of the child on her lap that she was very, very large. So, and I know she was diabetic, and she actually died of breast cancer. So I don't think she died of anything, you know, because of her weight, but they think it was the breast cancer. Back then they didn't go to doctors a lot, so at least they didn't because there was no money. Um, anyway, okay. Have you tried any other weight loss programs, and what were the results? Yeah, I have. I mean, I I did like the way back when the good old fashioned Dexatrim diet pills, you know, and um, the cabbage soup diet. I did that. The chemical breakdown diet. Anybody hear that? That one was really bad. And I went to a doctor for a few months, I don't know, 3 months or so. I went once a week to this doctor. He was an hour and 15 minutes away from me. And it was like everybody was doing it, you know, at the cookie factory. Everybody was getting skinny. So I wanted to get skinny too. So I started going to this doctor, and he just gave me a bunch of diet pills. And once a week you had to go get your B12 shot. And basically the diet that he gave me to follow was the Atkins diet. That's basically what it was. And it worked. It worked, but it was really, really hard for me to follow that diet because it was like ultra boring, really bad because, I mean, I didn't know anything about any of these recipes that are out nowadays. But anyway, the funniest or worst weight loss program you've ever tried? Well, it wasn't really very funny because it was that chemical breakdown diet. When I did that diet, it's like a 3-day thing, and then I don't remember if you're supposed to go off of it and then go back on it or what, but I did it for more than 3 days. And it was working, but I ended up working at the cookie factory at the time. I ended up passing out at work, and I was out for a while, and I was out cold. They called an ambulance, and I actually peed my pants because I was out so cold. Yeah, that's probably TMI, but I did. I mean, I didn't even know it. But when they got me to the hospital, my blood sugar was only 12. So that's not really funny, but it's the worst one. And I had to go through tests for hypoglycemia and diabetes and everything. And I didn't have anything like that. It was that damn diet. It's what it was. But anyway, what's the next question? Do you have any chronic health issues? No, I don't. I don't. Do you have your vitamin D checked? No. I don't. What does HCG mean to you, and how did you learn about it? Wow. What it means to me is, wow, that's a loaded question. It means a whole new life. Seriously, I mean, I have knowledge now that I mean, about my own body that I didn't even know I needed. You know, I mean, it means I'm going to be as healthy as I can be forever. That's what it means to me. Um, my voice is starting to go a little bit. I'm still not 100% well, so I apologize for that. But I'll tell you how I learned about it. What got me curious about it was every time I go to Walmart, I'd see this huge display of it, you know, the Walmart stuff. And I kept kind of glancing over at it like, I really like to check that out, but I don't want anybody to see me checking it out because, you know, I don't want anybody to think I'm self-conscious about my weight or bothered by my weight. So it was just an issue with me. So I finally decided, I came home one night and decided to look it up online, look up reviews on it and stuff like that. And I found a plethora of information, I'll tell you, good and bad. And I ended up finding a website that sold it. And I don't even remember the name of it, but I just ordered it. I was like, that's cheap. I'm going to order it. So I ordered it, and before it even got here, it only took like 3 or 4 days for it to come. And by the time it got here, I had researched enough to realize that the stuff I got was junk. So I even cried and everything. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do this, you know. But then I stumbled upon Mama Clock, which brought me to all of you eventually. At first, I couldn't find any current vlogs for the longest time. Then I finally started finding some, and it was like, yeah. And that's when I decided to start vlogging too. But I mean, that's what started me out, you know. And I ordered the RX stuff, and I got started. And that's how I learned about it, and that's what it means to me. And hopefully, this wasn't too boring. I know it's getting kind of long, and my voice is starting to go. So I'm going to go. See ya.